Hey, welcome to this edition of Meet the Candidate. My guest is Zachary Zorrzua. I'm running for the Cheney School District, Director Position 2. Welcome, Zachary.
Hi, thank you for having me.
This is my opportunity to get acquainted with all sorts of interesting people and candidates. And starting with you right now, tell me about where you grew up.
So I grew up, born and raised Cheney, Washington. I did all K through 12 there. Actually live on the same road I grew up on, Gravel Road. I went to Eastern Washington University, got a bachelor's degree, and then a master's degree in social work, and raising two kids there now.
Okay, so you are a homegrown boy.
For sure, yeah.
Sure. What were some things that you enjoyed doing in the community growing up in Cheney?
Yeah, so Cheney was very different back a long time ago. And so, I was big into agriculture. I did FFA, did tractor driving, raised pigs and sheep, and also played sports. I played football and track. And so really I support clubs and sports because it just gives so much to the community. They have something to go do Friday night, cheer on the high school boys and girls too. My wife coaches volleyball. And yeah, it's still kind of an agricultural community, but not nearly what it was 30 years ago.
Yeah, that makes sense. So growing up with that background, you probably had some interesting first jobs as a youth.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I remember in high school going to a barn across the street and cleaning horse stalls and raking the riding arena. And that's how I made all my Christmas money for a couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah. But did you get paid by the hour or by the piece? By the
It was pretty much by the night I worked. And then also I remember third grade working for my best friend Kyle Swiegel's dad, bucking bales. And back then I was so little I could only go 3 high. So the high school guys would get annoyed with us, but we were working hard.
Yeah. Well, I know when I hire somebody to help with ranch chores, when they're young, it's best to start with, this is the project. And then however long they mess around doing it, they have to get it done.
Oh, no. Back in the day, yeah, we had to put in a full day's work. And I remember, I think I got paid for bucking bales. It was $20 a day, which was really good money when you're in third grade.
It's excellent money in third grade. Probably some third graders now that would still appreciate that.
Probably.
So have you had a chance to travel much?
Travel like around.
Like any place that.
Oh, yeah. So I'm actually a high pointer. So I've actually been to the highest point of all
wow.
48 of the continental states. And so I love hiking and seeing the country. And so, yeah, it's been one of my passions for the last 12 years. So.
That's really cool. What was the most interesting peak that you've? Probably not Florida.
No, there's a lot of bugs down there. I don't like it there. But my favorite was Wyoming. It was a pretty long hike. Got to do some glacier travel, some rocks. It was gorgeous. But I love the Pacific Northwest, climbing Hood, Rainier, Bora down in Idaho were all great as well. I've been really blessed to be able to do that.
That's pretty cool. So you told a little bit about your education. You said you majored in social work.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the field that you're working in?
Yeah, so I have a private practice here downtown Spokane where I have about 85 clients that I see. Some I see weekly, some kind of as needed. And most of my career was in residential mental health. And so when you talk about school board, I spent the first 13 years of my career working with adolescents. And part of my job as I progressed was managing a satellite District 81 classroom. And so I understand IEPs, 504s, managing a teacher and a teacher's aide, doing state testing, all of that I had to kind of oversee. And so I feel like it's kind of in some ways meant to be just because of my experience. And then after working in the adolescent program, I actually worked at Morningstar Boys Ranch for a year. Due to COVID, I had to end my employment there. It was unfortunate, but I had to be home with my kids. And so anyways, working with kids, from 5 to 13 at Morningstar, I've got a lot of experience with youth that have mental health disorders, trauma. And then also, part of working with kids is you work with parents. So I also have a lot of experience with adults too.
Well, you bring a really interesting background to the position. What made you decide to run for school board?
It was actually, so my wife coaches volleyball, and there was a couple of parents of a girl that she coached who really were like, you've got little kids. At some point, you may be happy with it now. At some point, you're going to get frustrated, and you're going to want to have a voice. And I go, we tried to do it from the bottom up. And if we could go back in time, we would have done it the other way around. We would have gotten a friend, somebody on the school board that could come with our concerns, with our questions. And you know what? Like, we care about you enough. We want you to do it. And I'm like, I don't know. And the more we talked, the more I could see what they were talking about. And then as you start talking to people about running for an office, they start sharing, and all of a sudden you start hearing all these stories, and you realize, I can be a representative for these people, and I owe it to them, community member. I'm in Cheney, I'm not going anywhere. One thing about going to Cheney is I take great pride in that school district, and it's been sad. In my job, I work with a lot of people, and so I've worked with recent Cheney grads, and they don't have that pride, and that really makes me sad. And I want my kids to have pride in Cheney, and so I feel like, this is something I can do about it. I think it's important that people that can do. So
Okay, well, you were encouraged by others to run. That's always a good sign for a candidate. But this is your chance for that last 1-minute question. Tell people why they should vote for Zachary Zorrzua for Cheney School Board.
Yeah, I think a lot of it you touched on is, I've got a lot of experience in mental health. I'm a community member. I'm not going anywhere. I want what's best for the community. I believe firmly that people should be passionate about what they do. And I think in the Cheney School District, we do have people that are passionate, but we also have people that aren't. And I think one thing that frustrates a lot of people is kind of the desire for some accountability and some expectations. And so that's kind of what I'm going to bring to the table is, it starts from the top down. And I just want to see Cheney be great, and I know that a lot of other people do too. So please vote for Zach. I won the primary, and I'm hoping that everybody that voted for me then will turn out again because I need them. And I hope people watch this and they feel better about who I am, and they're willing to vote for me in November.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in, Zachary.
Thanks for having me.
What does it mean to be awake? It means to truly understand the issues facing us and actively participate as a citizen in this country. One way you can do that is by voting your values, based on the Word of God. We believe We Vote has done the research and provides you the information you need to make an informed decision on which candidates will champion our values and work for us. Now is the time to rise up, get involved, and vote. WeBelieveWeVote.com.
Hello, Spokane. This is Governor Mike Huckabee. I'm going to be speaking at We Believe, We Vote's October 2nd fundraiser. It's more important than ever for Christians to come together and to vote. I'm looking forward to seeing you on October the 2nd of this year. For tickets to the event, go to WeBelieveWeVote.com.